I would like to welcome all participants for today's PSM technical meet. Sardar, hope I am audible, right?
Yes, dear.
Okay. As you all aware that to develop professionals in the field of process safety, ASSP-KC chapter has established a special PSM Specialty Group, and we had planned monthly PSM technical meet every third Wednesday of the month. And this is PSM technical meet number 23. Thanks to our founder member, Ujjwal Latik sir, for his continuous support and guidance to organize this event every month. I would like to extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to our today's speaker. Today's both speaker are Dr. Shiva Prasad Pinky, who is having more than 30 years of experience in the field of HSE and who is working with the KOC as a senior HSE specialist. And really, from 2004, I know him. He is an active ASSP member, and whenever we required his support, he is always ready to serve the chapter. And within a short span of 3 days' time, he accepted our invitation for today's presentation. Thank you very much, Pinky sir. And Dr. Hari Prasad, who is having more than 15 years of experience. So today's session will be very interesting, and I'm sure that all members will get more benefit from today's session. And as our secretary told, there are some announcements. For example, the OSA's, global OSA's train the trainer training. We already sent an email and we received almost 8 to 10 registration also. I would like to request all members to get benefit from this training. Then very shortly in the coming month, we are planning to organize World Environment Day. That will be physical technical meet, and next month we are planning to have our annual general body meeting also. So hope very soon we will meet physically and we'll meet each and every members, inshallah. I'm not taking more time. Over to you, Safdar.
Thank you, President Jahid Thakur, for a brief plan and introduction to the audience itself. Those who are new to this chapter, let me take you a little glimpses of what we are doing, how we are doing. We are running a series of activity through various medium of ASSP-KC chapter, and like I was saying that we are meeting every third of Wednesday, and these are the past glimpses that process safety management technical meet number 2020-22 by presenter Venkat Madhusudan Rao, who is a specialist process engineer, and it was on 20th of April, and around 70 to 75 people attended this whole session itself. As you are aware that we have a Toastmaster meeting, which we are meeting for 2nd and 4th of Saturday of every month. Those who are looking for developing their leadership skill, this is the right platform which our leaders are encouraged to participate in fun-filled environment without too much preparation, and you can learn a lot by attending this ASSP-KC Toastmaster Club. Then these are some upcoming event, like our president has already said that there is a global OSA 501, the general safety trainer from 23rd to 24th. The date will be confirming depending on, but this is a tentative date, which is a very widely accepted training course. We have already sent this invitation, and those who are already registered speaks to the word of information to others who are looking for developing their career in future itself. And then commemoration of World Environmental Day 2022. And that day itself, we will be also in a process to update you that professional development conference update, which is scheduled in 9th to 10th of November. And we will be introducing you ASSP-GCC HSC Excellence Award 2022 on that particular day, which we hope that it will be a physical meet in person itself. And there will be a process safety technical meet number 24th, which is scheduled on 15th of June. And we are also planning ASP and CSP preparatory workshop. Those people who are looking for advancement of their career and they are already in halfway through. So this will be a good workshop. We have a good number of participants who has shown interest for such workshop, and there will be an ISO 45001 training schedule in June, but actual date we will be telling you depending on the availability of the trainer. And then we have annual general body meeting plan in June itself, depending on our chairman availability. We will be sharing you the date and other announcement itself. So this is a whole program, and stay with us with this. Like I was mentioning it is 11th Professional Development Conference, which is scheduled from 9th to 10th of November. You all are encouraged to spread this word for a grand success of this. And as you know that this is a mega event which is happening after every 2 years. And this is a ASSP-GCC to recognize the private sector contractor, which is already in process itself. So those who are already part of this ASSP-GCC HSC Excellence Award, this is too many categories are there where you can think of showcase your company activity and get a good reputation, which is widely acclaimed among KNPC, KOC, and Middle East itself. So it is give a grand sense of pride those who are associated with ASSP-GCC HSC Excellence Award. We also appreciate those people who are, and company itself who has participated through COVID time also, though the program was online itself, but the past ceremony you can still watch on SSP website on YouTube itself. Now I will leave this floor to our mentor, Ujjwal Ritvik sir, for process community moderator. Over to you, Ujjwal Ritvik sir.
Thank you, Saptar Bhai, and thank you all of you for attending this. I won't take long because the format of this these monthly technical meets are kind of short. We don't want to have a 3-hour or 2-hour. The original idea being that in a short time we go through 2 presentation, one by someone who wants to come up, who wants to explore more and revisit some of the past infamous incidents, and one experience sharing by anyone, especially those who have longer experience, those who have personal experience of some hazardous event, what lessons were learned. This is a general format. However, sometimes we do make changes, like this time we will be so happy to hear from these 2 speakers. They are both doctorates and they have a lot to say, I'm sure. But one more objective that we have is networking. We want to know people each other, not because someone is more knowledgeable or someone is less knowledgeable, someone is more experienced, but just to reassure ourselves amongst each other in the same profession that yes, you are working, I am working. In case of if I need some help, in case I need some information, uh, just to make sure, reassure each other, we have developed this networking. Another, one more set of people who require this kind of networking are those people who want to come on board this PSM. Now, they are not necessarily in their career now or in future also. They have to get into process safety. They could be somewhere in anywhere in HSC field, or sometime not even in HSC field. They could be, let's say, that a maintenance person, but knowing something about process safety opens up the doors of some knowledge which will be useful now or during your path forward. So it's very important. In fact, process safety management is one such field where no knowledge is beyond the boundary or beyond syllabus. Every knowledge is within syllabus. So even if you are talking about plastic pollution, like in one of the presentations today, Dr. Hari Prasad is talking about plastic issues of plastic concerns. Now, somebody may say that, oh, this is not process safety. To a certain extent, maybe yes, but not maybe, maybe no also, in the sense that this is one of the limits. I mean that there is no limit to process safety. We are talking about a lot of issues: environment. We are talking about emergency response. We are talking about pollution. We are talking about occupational health also many a times, because process safety do lead to occupational health chronic issues also sometimes. So I encourage everyone. There are quite a few people, almost 50 people. They are already on this now. I encourage you, and through you, your colleagues and other people, that come and be on board. Join this. Join this. This is more like a movement. It does not require any subscription from you. You don't need to be a member of Quiz Chapter or ASSP. You don't need to be paying anyone anything. All you have to do is to find some time and then take the next step. Present yourself. This will be so much more advantageous to you. When you are presenting, you are learning. When you are presenting, people are asking questions, you are learning. When you are presenting, you are building your confidence, you are learning. So at the end of the day, it is so important to present. And again, presentation does not have to be a PowerPoint presentation. It does not have to be a half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. No, it can be only 15 minutes. And don't be scared of questions, because they are the genesis of opportunities. So join, ask other people to join in your network, in your circle of influence, and let them also present. You present, others present, and this is just a start of discussion. So with these few words, I go back. I request back to Safdar Bhai to introduce the first speaker and let the ball get rolling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Hari Prasad, who is Assistant Manager in Quality Assurance and H Health Water Quality Division, Suguna Food Private Limited. He is basically PhD in environmental science with a specialty in water and wastewater treatment technology. Over 15 years of industrial experience in the field of water quality and sanitization. Wastewater treatment using ozone and AOPs, poultry water sanitization and management program, aquaculture, water quality optimization, and thorough knowledge in the field of poultry breeder egg from air disinfection using ozone technology. He has presented several technical papers and posters in national and international conference. So it is a pleasure to hear from Dr. Hari Prasad for his topic, Dark Side of Plastic. Dr. Hari Prasad.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, dear. Welcome to you. And the podium is now yours.
Okay, so can I share the screen, sir?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, sir. I'll try to share the screen, sir. If it is not,
yes,
coming,
no problem. We'll assist you.
We can do with Ramana, sir. Okay, you already tried.
Okay. Dr. Hari.
Yes, sir.
Let us share. You have some issue, no?
Yes, sir. Yes. Then you can share, sir. No problem. Okay, can we start, sir?
Yes,
I'm sharing.
Okay, so we'll go for the title is the dark side of the plastic containers, sir. So I hope that this is the need of our topic to be discussed. Maybe slightly varying from your regular core area of working. So can we have the next slide, sir? So BPA is the person or is the compound that we're going to discuss today. So it was synthesized in 1891, and it's a synthetic organic compound used in the manufacture of epoxy resin, other polymers. So you'll be very familiar with these epoxy resins and other polymers. Next slide. So this is the global market of the BPA. So if you see the blue color, you can see Asia Pacific region is the major consumers. This is not the map of the producers. This is the consumers. So this is the so major consumers is in Asia Pacific, and Middle East has slightly, and Africa, little is in Latin America, and North America and Europe is also consuming very well. Next. So this is the global market of the BPA. I'll come to the BPA and how does it affect our life. We'll come to that later. So I just want to go through a market glimpse of how this chemical is increasing by consumption. From 2018 to 2026, you can see the increase. How does it is increasing? So 18 to 26, so it is increasing drastically, and the cumulative annual growth rate is 6%. CAGR is 6%. Next. So in 1940s and 50s, it was discovered BPA can be used in the synthesis of polycarbonate and epoxy resins, and also used in the polymerization inhibitor in PVC. So it is using almost all plastics. Next. So these are the, if you go to the right hand side, you can see how this is a class of micropollutant. Normally, how it reaches into the environment. But if you see, so industry discharge, all this is coming into the water body, and groundwater is get contaminating, and one of the pollutant BPA is there. So that's what I shared this slide. It has got two direction we need to discuss today, sir. Within the given time frame, I'll try to conclude it. Next slide. So yes, sir. These are the containers, or these are the objects that you can find BPA. I hope it is everyone will be using at least 1 or 2 items from the here. It is there in the plastic cans, it is there in the baby nipple, it is there in CDs, containers, everywhere it is there. So I hope everybody, especially in Middle East, they'll be using a lot of things because most of the time life depends upon the processed food. So it is there in the processed food containers. It is there. Next. So normally this material is used for the making of the polycarbonate. When this carbonate hydrolyzes, this material BPA, you can see how does it is coming out of the bone. That means it is loosely bounded in plastic containers. When the environmental conditions is getting changed, it is leaching into the environment or it is leaching into its surrounding environment. We'll go to that in deep next. Yes, sir. This is how they are transporting a water can in the very sunny day. Okay, so during this period, with a high temperature, with a long time exposure, this particular chemical BPA, which has been used for making this plastic can, will be leaching from the can material to the water container, and this is going to be served for almost all place where there depends up people depending water can for their regular water need. Next. That was transportation, and this is in the selling. This is nothing where it is in India. See how the shopkeepers are keeping these cans outside just for the marketing purpose and the sales purpose. Again, it is directly exposing to sunlight for very long time, and that time also the same compound is getting leaching from the plastic container to the water. Next. That was in the aspects of the transportation. Can we have next slide, sir? Yes, this is again in the transportation side. Everywhere it is unforcing open. So I hope by somebody should make a law that it should not be transported in the daylight. So can we hold to the slide, sir? Back slide. Back. So here it was previously it was in the transportation. Now you can see that every environmental water body, this is contaminated with this plastic or this plastic containers. So over a period of time, when it reacts with the environmental contaminants and the sunlight and different sunlight exposure to the different chemical, this particular chemical from this plastic and the containers will leach into the water body, and any person who is directly using this water for their drinking purpose, I hope this water, next slide, sir. This water will not be using for the drinking purpose, but there are people who take this water for the filtration purposes and they'll make it in the can and they'll supply in the different places. And the sad thing is that this particular chemical will not come in normal filtration process. I repeat that this particular chemical BPA does not get filtered in normal conventional water filtration techniques. This required separate custom-made treatment technology to be implemented to degrade the chemical into the water and carbon dioxide. So see, every water body, it is getting contaminated with this plastic. Hence, it is again contaminated with this BPA chemical. And what is the side effect and what is the effect? How does our future will affect? I'll come to that. Next slide. Again, it is everywhere it is. Next, sir. Yes, sir. So these are some of the data that how much BPA was present in Shanghai. Shanghai, it is 170 to 3,520 nanogram per liter of water, and Tokyo it is 500 to 900. It's in river water. It's in river water. Okay, it's not in the wastewater. It's in the river water. Singapore it is 40 to 90, comparatively less. Seawater. USA canals is 1.9 to 158 nanogram. Germany it is again less. Maximum 700. Spain it is 10 to 250 in urban wastewater. Wastewater it's okay. There's a contamination will be there. So these are the water body contamination. It means again whose normal drinking purpose depends upon this river water will be definitely getting affected. Next. Sir, I can see Safdar Khan as in screen. Can you share the slide? Next slide. Yes, sir. So, leaching of BPA is the topic we are discussing. Monosomes of BPA can be hydrolyzed and leach into food or liquids. The hydrolyzing process I already discussed, the slide I have shown, and which is accelerated by high temperature, acidic or basic condition, and damaged surfaces. So, whenever we try to get a cool drinks, and which is also exposed in sunlight, the contamination will be high. And again, normally soft drinks will have an acidic pH, and that will also accelerate the leaching of this particular chemical into the soft drink. Again, if it is stored for a long time, again the contamination will be high in the inside. And if you take that, our contamination, our body intake will also will be very high. Next. So there was a study. Exposure to 100 degrees Celsius has been for the 24 hours. So the result was 15 to 55 fold increase in the exposed heat plus room temperature water only. So that means if the temperature is getting increased, definitely the leaching of this particular chemical from the cans, from the food containers, from the water cans to the water will be very high, and the total daily intake, the tolerable daily intake TDI, is 4 micrograms per kilogram of the body weight per day. So I hope most of the Middle East will be supplied with cans only. So hope we can see that the second graph, it is getting increasing when the temperature is getting increased, and it is getting increasing when the time is getting increased. First week it is less, second week it is increasing, third, fourth week again it is getting increasing. BPA. So for a longer storage time, it will again, this chemical will get increased. Possible health concern, will come to that. I told about the chemical and how does it is coming to the environment. I told what are the possible sources it's coming in the environment. I told. Now it is called as an endocrine disruptor. An endocrine disruptor is a chemical that mimics the hormone. That means most of the endocrine hormones function can be mimicked by this particular chemical. If a chemical is mimicking the hormonal function, then it will go to an hormonal imbalance. Then it will be affecting your most of the body's metabolic functions, and even it is affecting the reproductive system. Potential cause to problem is to the reproductive system. So these are the major endocrine glands. All these glands signaling pathway will be affected by this particular chemical concentration in the blood. Next slide. Yes, just concentrate onto the blue color only. See, the left side we have an hormone. Now that's an endocrine hormone, secretion hormone, and right side we have structure of a BPA. See, this OH on the both side is the key component which help the chemical to mimic the hormone. Instead of binding the left side hormone, this chemical will be binding to the receptor. So that will give an abnormal signal to the body to secrete this particular chemical. So an entire system will be collapsing over a period of time. Next. So possible health implementation is endocrine disruption, cancer, obesity, cognitive and behavioral impairment, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, asthma, liver enzyme abnormalities, and whatnot. So all these diseases will be, can we have backslide, sir? All these diseases will be there in the body who is regularly consuming, regularly in touch with the BPA. So regularly they are consuming water in the BPA can will have this kind of all these kind of diseases. Next slide, sir. Human issues is there. 93% of the American tested has BPA in their urine. And sad thing is highest intake level is in infant because it is there in the baby's feeding bottle. It is there in the baby's toys, almost all Chinese made toys it is having. and it is there in the nipple also. It is there in the feeding bird's nipple also. So when we give a hot milk to the baby or anything hot, it is leaching from the container to the milk, then it is going into the infant's body. Average level is between 0 to 14 microgram per kg per day, and up to 50 microgram per day is toxic. 50 nano microgram per day is toxic. Next. So the life cycle of plastics is, can you see left side bottom? It is 450 years. Once you throw this into the environment, it will be there in for the 450 years. That means, or the pollution what we create right now will be affecting another 5 to 6 to 7 generations, and without their knowledge. That is the sad thing. So this is the environmental fate of that one, this particular chemical. Next slide. So BPA now linked to premature death also. This is the publication from Harvard University. You can check it out online. So if we are not using, if you are using this chemical, using these water bottles or containers in an improper way, or anything that is contaminated with the BPA over a period of time, there is a high chance of getting all these lifetime diseases. Plus, it is confirmed that premature death is also causing by this particular compound. Next. Thank you. And there's a book called Our Stolen Future. It is saying about the BPA and how does it is affecting the human and other environmental, creating other environmental issues. So that's how I conclude it. So I hope the session is open for the question, and I expect questions from people.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Dr. Hari Prasad. There was a question from Mr. Bala Sri Khan, sir. Sir,
Yes, sir.
you can ask your question directly to the speaker.
Thank you, Sabdaji, and thank you, Dr.
You're
Hari
welcome,
Prasad.
Yes, sir.
It's really eye-awakening presentation before the World Environment Day. We're just 2 weeks left to celebrate the World Environment Day, and then you have really shaken all of us with this the BPA of the plastic. Well, I have 2 questions. If you can enlighten us. Now, that slide which you have shown that so many diseases are going to come.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Are
sir.
these clinically proven?
Yes. Everything is clinically proven. You can search it out. Everything, it is published data. Whatever the data I have presented here, it is from the research article.
Okay, so as it is clinically proven, and right from the first day of the baby to the last day of the human being on the surface of the earth,
Yes.
use of the plastic is inseparable.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
and the photograph you have shown, like the water cartons and being taken by the trolley and the hot scotchy summer and
Yes.
all those things. So what kind of solutions or alternatives that we can adopt ourselves and we can teach our children? And I'm certainly sure that such presentations we have to take to the schools to awaken the children who are really they're very fast to adapt to the new things. So what do you suggest from your research? What kind of solution that we need to put forward? What kind of lifestyle changes that we need to bring forward?
So first thing which we should avoid, thank you. That was a good query, sir. I expect more questions from the audience, because the very idea behind this presentation was to reach to the people that this is what happening, and it's happening as we speak. And the first thing solution is that if you really want to carry a bottle, you keep BPA free bottles are available in market. It's slightly costly. It is BPA free containers is available. You stick to the containers, and most of the time, if you go out, you can carry a PET bottle along with you. You can carry a copper bottle. You can carry a steel bottle, so that you can carry hot water also. No problem. Every time you buy a bottle, you throw it into the environment. It is there for another 450 years. Not only you, I also. So most of the time, I used to carry my own water bottle with me whenever I travel. Whenever I go outside, whenever I keep a water bottle with me. I never get a water bottle from outside. And there should be proper, second thing, there should be proper guidelines for transportation of this water cans in the summer. As this is what I'm getting scared by seeing this transportation. Because over a period of time, the immunity of the human being is getting decreased due to the overexposure of the environmental pollutants. The immunity what we have will not be, our future generation may not have that much immunity. So they'll be easily susceptible. And if you are not transporting this on the daytime, we can avoid most of the leaching out, and not keeping the cans outside, we can avoid that. Again, it will not leach much probably. So there will be a clear guideline for the transportation.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. In fact, the thing which you have compared with the high temperature and room temperature, so do you think that using the plastic bottles, the room temperature or a refrigerated water bottle, will it be a bit safer when compared to the exposure to the high temperature?
Yes, when the high temperature, it will definitely be leaching out, sir. This chemical will leach out. Over 70 degrees, it will definitely leach out. And you might, the point is that the bottle at your hand might be for 1 hour or 2 hours. But who knows how long it has been exposed in sunlight for in the open shop or in the storage place. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Yeah, so Sardar, if you don't mind, I'll ask a couple of questions if you don't mind. But you mentioned about that.
No problem, sir. For the sake of this presentation, we'll go for 10-minute question and answering, and then after still there are questions, we'll come back again after Dr. Siva Prasad sir presentation. No problem, sir. We will hold it.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Hari Prasad ji, and you mentioned about the use of diapers for children. Is it really such really threat?
Sir, if it is not properly disposed, it is a threat, sir.
No, man, I mean to say, yeah, disposing is a problem that I understand, but use of diapers by children, do you think that there will be a problem with considering to think what you explained, the BPA?
No, sir. If it is, I have just shown how this materials are remaining in the environment.
Okay.
For that.
Okay. And one more thing, if you don't mind, I want maybe next presentation when you do that, such really impressive and enlightening presentation, share in one slide what could be the possible alternatives, like what you mentioned about BPC-free bottle. And I'm sure 50 to 70% of us, we don't know what is that bottle.
No, come again.
No, when you mentioned about BPC-free bottle, right? So
it is BPA-free, sir. You can Google, you can just Google it out right now. You can see BPA-free. It will be there in the supermarket. It will be there in the store. There will be separate session for that. It is BPA-free. Stick to that.
Yeah. So without naming the company, you can also add one slide how to choose that, how to go for that, right?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I'll do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will take one more question from Tata Surya Prakash, and we will come back again with the question and answer session, Dr. Hari Prasad, because sake of time management. Mr. Tata Surya Prakash, your question, please.
Yeah, good evening. Very good presentation. Thank you for this. My question is, what are the optimal temperature, storage temperature for it? First question, to avoid the release into the drinking water streams. And the second question is it the release levels you mentioned at nanogram levels? So are they above the WHO guidelines for drinking water?
So first question was above 70 degrees Celsius, the leaching is high. Are we clear, sir? Hello?
Okay.
Sir, the point that has to be addressed here is that we are calculating the time that we have the bottle, the moment that we are having the bottle. But I am telling about from the very moment it is produced to the retailer's shop, how long it is exposed, where it is producing, how it is transporting, and how long it is keeping in the sunlight, how it is exposed into high temperature. And I'm very sure that in Middle East, the exposure rate will be very high when compared to India, because the temperature is, normal temperature itself is high, and they're transporting it in sunny light, it is very high. Again, it is high. And the second question was, it is WHO. Yes, sir. All these levels are what we are shown in the environmental, the rivers concentration. The concentration that found in the rivers is above the WHO only. WHO level I have clearly mentioned over there, and the nanograms, how much nanograms per kg it should be. And this is only in the case of water bottle. We are using a lot of things which is containing BPA. Plastic containers for the fast food. That will again, we are packing the material with a very hot material, and they are serving in hot, and we are having the material, the food in the very hot. Again, it is reaching into the containers.
Okay, thank you.
Are you clear about this, sir? You want me to explain one more time?
No, okay, it's okay. I was very much particular about WHO guidelines for drinking water, because 70 degrees is a relatively high temperature, even though Middle East higher, 50-55 degrees we reach. So being a plastics retention, temperature retention is also will not exaggerate that 70 barrier, but still I was just a little bit worried about the release level. That's why I was asking this question. Okay, thank you.
The bottle, it is okay, but what about the other soft drink that is serving?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you for other areas. Yes.
Most of the soft drink is having acidic pH, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like an excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hari Prasad, sir. We will be taking a few more questions in a later stage if the questions is coming up. We also appreciate your effort if you can put some link for further study who are really looking for knowing more about this BPA free items and how we'll be able to control it, and for awareness purpose itself, sir. So we appreciate if you can share some of the journals link or something which will be giving a source of better understanding about this.
Sure, sir. So that can be done, sir.
But stay with us if your time permits. Maybe there will be some question later on, sir. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate your time and effort, sir. Yeah. It's our pleasure. Yeah. Okay, sir. Now I'm moving for another presentation for experience. Thank you, sir. I'm moving towards for another presentation, that is safety review, a proactive approach for process safety. Presenting by Dr. Siva Prasad Penke, who is working as a senior specialist HSE in Kuwait Oil Company. Let me brief you his expertise. He is safety professional for 30 years of experience, and he is PhD in health and safety, master's in technology in HSE. He is MSc in chemistry, diploma in industrial safety, regional level institute, Chennai, India, and postgraduate diploma in environmental science, lead auditor for ISO 45001. He specializes in HSE management system, risk management, project health safety and environmental review, PHSER, ready for a startup review, and HSE excellence audit. Extensively contributed in designing, developing, and delivering HSE training and mentoring all level of personnel as a safety coach. Provided HSE leadership for a reputed corporate including Reliance Industries, which is world's largest refineries, Crane Energy Private Limited, oil and gas upstream, largest EPC sector, and nuclear fuel safety from Bhabha Atomic Research Center in India. Recognized for best HSE leadership from CEO and chairman and MDs of various organizations. So it's a pleasure to welcoming Dr. Siva Prasad Penke. The sir, floor is now yours.
Are you able to see the slide, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all. And it is my pleasure to share my industry HSC experience related to process safety management in this technical meet. Thanks for this opportunity provided by ASSP Kuwait chapter. And going into the topic, I have put as the safety reviews, how important they are in proactively ensuring the process safety. The recent incidents around us, if you see, the resumption of the industrial activities, the post-COVID scenario, the rate of the industrial accidents, the disasters especially, they are at very, very high. In India alone, there are about 116 industrial accidents recorded in the chemical industry, and which has led to 231 fatalities. These incidents certainly they exposed the process industries, their weaknesses in the managing the process safety, maybe be it a lack of process knowledge or failure to assessing and mitigating the risks much before it resulted into disaster, and failure to managing the emergency management systems or disaster control. These are all many factors are there in this, and which has finally led to huge loss of life, what we have seen, and also damage to the environment and property also. So certainly the need of the hour is to revisit ourselves, our own processes, our facilities, and learn further. And what is that we can further enhance our controls or the process safety, and educate and implement the required controls. So therefore, that's the need of the hour. And going into the topic with this background, I would like to put in a simple way, the difference between the occupational safety versus the process safety. And the occupational safety is, represented as with a lion. Why it is a lion? Because the lion hunts in a group, a very ferocious animal, and we are able to see the lion when it is hunting. And therefore, the occupational related incidences, maybe it is a trip or a fall or a slip or whatever it may be, we're able to see. So therefore, it is compared with the lion. And the process safety, it is compared with the tiger. Why a tiger? Means the tiger, hides, waits, and a long time it will take. But in one attack, it definitely, certainly, it creates the harm to the people or whatever it may. So therefore, it is a hidden hazard which we cannot see. The process safety, like be it a high pressure, high temperature, corrosion, this one. So this is the what I wanted to just to make a start. And this slide definitely gives an insight, during this COVID, how the process safety related incidences or the chemical industry related incidences have taken place. So you can see 29th Jan 2020, Texas, 3 fatalities, and the month of May 2020 in Visakhapatnam, the styrene gas leak, and which has caused 11 fatalities and around 1,000 injured, and many people they have to be evacuated that place. So, and then followed by Beirut, the Lebanon, the ammonium nitrate explosion. So the series has continued. So to further to take, I would like to share some more inputs from this clip.
2020 was an extraordinary year dominated by a global pandemic. All around the world, people were affected and had to change the way they worked, traveled, and communicated. Some of the changes required during the pandemic could have an unexpected impact on the safety and security of workers that deal with hazardous substances. CCPS has collected information on over 60 significant process safety incidents around the world during 2020, 17 of which are categorized as major incidents. On August 6th, CNN reported that at least 137 people were killed and 5,000 were injured in a massive explosion that shook Beirut, Lebanon on August 4th, according to Lebanon's health minister. As people started looking at the incident, it became evident that similar ammonium nitrate incidents have occurred elsewhere in the past. Within days of the incident, countries around the world started to survey their own ports and warehouses, demonstrating how quickly we can learn from incidents, even before an investigation begins. In January, an explosion at a chemical plant in Spain propelled a large, heavy plate over 3 kilometers away that killed a man. On January 24th, an explosion at a manufacturing facility in Houston killed 2 people and damaged over 200 homes. In India, the Assam Bajan oil and gas incident began as a gas leak on May 27th. Then on June 6th, it erupted into a large blowout. The fire lasted until it was finally extinguished 6 months later, after resulting in 2 deaths, large-scale local evacuations, and major environmental damage. Also, in India on May 7th, a significant styrene gas release killed several people and put hundreds into the hospital with breathing difficulties. The incident took place in an eastern India coastal industrial port city of about 5 million residents. Then, during the middle of 2020, Russia experienced an environmental incident of major proportions. More than 20,000 tons of diesel fuel leaked into the Ambarnaya River. This incident is considered the second biggest oil spill in modern Russian history. The 64 incidents we collected happened in 19 different countries. But that distribution may not be representative of the safety performance in each region. In any case, each incident can have lessons that may be applicable across all regions and various industries.
So, really, it is alarming, it is a time to revisit our own systems and what would be these reasons means the industries hurriedly, they wanted to start their process activities and ignoring many barriers or the barriers what already there, they are ineffective. So these are all the few things might have led to these incidents. So why major hazard accidents repeat? If you see, maybe people or the industry is more focusing on the numbers, like achieving maybe last time injury frequency, and but not focusing on the process safety culture or inadequate the risk controls, that is the dysfunctional barriers. So maybe long ago we defined or designed some barriers, but how good those barriers are effective, or is there any need to revisit these things? These points are missing in many incident lessons learned, if you see, and huge gaps in the competency management system. This is now it is demanding that we need to involve the people working at the site into further improve our systems. Even if you see the ISO 45001, the worker participation, one element has become very important element in any safety management to see. So here also it is coming out, and lessons learned are not institutionalized. So this is another important point I wanted to put my perspective, and then how we can overcome this one, that is leading and lagging indicators, that is clearly and fit to that organization. We need to come up with these indicators, and the practical way we need to put it and monitor, and which helps us to improve upon, and focus on site-based risk management systems, and then the management review, that is also very important, and employee participation at the grassroots level, and contractors engagement, industry and peer benchmarking. So the benchmarking is the process, very, very important to understand where do I stand, my own process or my own industry, and what is that the other industry is doing better, so I can improve upon. So these are all the few thought process I just listed it out. And now coming to, I would like to share one of my HSE industry experience. In one of the refinery where I was working, this is the incident took place. There was a vacuum residue storage tank. From the storage tank, the vacuum residue, which is, it is a distillate. It is a substance which is obtained by the vacuum distillation. It is a thick oil, and they are pumping the vacuum residue from the tank to the units. So the inside, the temperature of the fluid is 200 plus, and it is at 40 kg per centimeter square pressure inside. So these are all the parameters, very simply if you take. The activity came on that day as to take a sample from the system, and they have never done this activity before, but the sample has to be taken. So when they, so the activity has been given from the second shift to the night shift, and then it has finally landed to collect the sample at around 10 p.m. in the night. And two operators assigned for this job, and they went, and their system they could not go through, or the defined system they could not understand, or it was not it was not working, dysfunctional. And they tried how to complete this activity, to how to take the sample. So they found a 3/4 inch drain wall here, and then they have finally decided. There was a supervisor, and then some discussion is held, and then finally they took the shortcut, and they wanted to take the sample from this. So when they opened the wall here, and nothing has come out. So why nothing has come out? Because the out, it has got congealed here. It has got congealed, and then further they have opened the wall to collect the sample, and also they tapped this one with using a spanner. That's it. The choke has been released, and then with high pressure, the vacuum residue started coming out. Now the location itself is very critical here. The other side of this place was, there is no place to operator to move or around like that. So they were caught in this type of scenario. The hot vacuum residue splashed and fell on the people, and one of the operator, half of the lower body parts burned. The second-degree burns and permanent disability, it happened. So this was one of the incident, and it really throws light on the people think that sampling is an easiest activity, and yes, we have standard operating procedure. Yes, we know how to do it, but this type of the high pressure, high temperature systems when they go and not following the standard operating procedures or taking the shortcuts or not understanding the consequence of these hazards, definitely it will lead to the bigger injuries or the incidences. So it is having further complications, like they left open and because definitely they are in the pain and then they wanted to escape from this one. And it took time to stop this pump also. And this is in the downstream of the pump. So by that time, the huge hydrocarbon spilled in the pump bay. So this is what the incident, and definitely it is related to a process safety. I thought a very simple incident to sensitize our group, I thought I will share with you. And if permits 5 minutes more, I would like to take some more, I would like to share some of my experiences, like the safety reviews, how they can, proactively help us to identify the process safety related issues much before we go for an operations. And so these are all the facilities of oil and gas, as most of you are aware. And such type of the facilities, when you build and when you commission it and when you go for an operations, certainly the HSE reviews plays a vital role. So the systems, what we have is the project health, safety, environmental reviews. So with my experience, I would like to highlight these are all highly valued such a way that if you rigor way, in a systematic way, if an industry applies this one, definitely we get a benefit out of this one. I provided the leadership for this type of phasers and ready for startup activities maybe around 6 years. And then so very briefly to for the benefit of our participants today, the project health safety reviews at this way, that is the initial stage of the project, that is the conceptual stage. The HSE review will take place, and then the phaser 3, project health safety environmental review, stage 3, the design reviews. So definitely we have an opportunity to incorporate the HSE related design issues here. Whether they have complied or not, there is a review which gives an opportunity to correct at this place itself. And the fourth stage is dealing with the constructability, that is the quality related issues. Certainly the failure of any quality issues leading to the HSE issues. The fifth stage is the commissioning, and still you have an opportunity to correct and then ensure your procedures, the practices already you have put in place like that. The final stage is the ready for startup. So in the other operational stage, we call it is a pre-startup safety reviews. So this is the final opportunity, how we build the facilities, are they ready to operate, and a final check it gives, and the multidisciplinary team they verify, and we can check, and then still there's an opportunity to stop if we are not complied anything. So therefore these reviews are very, very vital to find out and identify the much any risk involved in operations. We can identify much before this. So some examples I would like to present with my experience. This is one of the facility where the tank overflow line open to the skid, and skid drain is not connected to drain system, no bund provided. So what is the risk here? That is when if it happens that any overflow, it happens. So definitely hydrocarbon is not contained. So that itself is leading to a disastrous situations. So it has to be connected to the closed drain system. So this has been missed by the the teams, but where the independent team of this phasers and these teams they have identified. Definitely, it gives a good insight for this. So another example I would like to share here is this one is a 600 kilometers of a pipeline project. This one at one of the location, as per the drawing or the process, you need to have the vent at this place, but vent itself was missing. Whereas this the phaser has provided an opportunity to find out and rectify proactively. And now you can see here some of the examples, the constructability or the design related, how we can, how critical it is to operate. You can see here the walls, the location, how I can take it for any maintenance or any operability issues here. Many things they could find in the phaser reviews of different stages. So it has provided the reviews, provided a great opportunity to correct and prevent the incidences, what would have led to incidences. Another sensitive issue is the missing of FLP screws. That means the electrical area classifications, if you see, even one screw is missing, that means the integrity of the equipment is lost. That itself is the, it will act as the source of ignition. What if any gas cloud is there? That means this is the source of the ignition. So these are all the very, very practical way of looking. And some more examples you can see here: the operability, the how an operator can ergonomic issues we can consider here. The operability of this wall, can we make sure that this is fully closed or like this? So definitely it is a challenge here. And another another issue is here the FNG systems. If you see, the constructability time, there is a mismatch. That means this FNG is expected to cover this area, but whereas this was installed in the other side, means there is a lack of communication or the quality of the job, the understanding of the contractor who complied. That's why engagement of the contractor into the process safety. It is difficult to understand, but these are all the major issues, which may definitely cause this engagement of the contractors, the quality of the work, and then finally review of the issues. So some more examples of the FNG related, which are missing to cover actually the intent of the design was missing here. And this is a different example, like, it was installed, the FNG, but something is on the way it is obstructing. So the purpose, the main purpose of this itself is found missing here. So now, is it possible that entire thing to reroute it? So that means so that's the big question. And then to manage the risk, definitely the actions are required. This is another example to see. There is a big separator, and then again FNG, but this the foundation or the pedestal which is obstructing its detection limitations limits. So therefore, these are all the issues. Definitely would have in the future it would have led to bigger incidences. But the here you can see the sampling area, the isolation, the walls, how one can access. So like this, many issues which these reviews, especially the project health safety environmental reviews, or at the final stage of pre-startup safety reviews, just before I am giving the oil in, am I ready fully operationally, standard operating procedures, and the operators' readiness, their knowledge, and then emergency preparedness, and many issues are checked, rechecked in this one. So therefore, what I want to present here is the application of these what you call these studies definitely brings out the risks which might have left out or not addressed or missed various reasons. So definitely these reviews will help us in overcoming certain process safety related issues much before we operate the plants. So so that's all I wanted to present. This is as my experience, and so over to Mr. Sabda. Mr. Sabdar?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Anyway, our secretary internet is having some issues with the internet, it's saying. There is someone raised hand. Mr. Prakash Tata is going to ask some question.
Yeah,
Can
please.
Yes, good evening, sir. Good evening, Prasad.
Yeah.
Very good presentation. My question is talking about, while we are talking about blowouts happening nowadays. So what is the precautions that we are taking to prevent blowouts, especially with pertaining to kill procedures, which are a mandatory thing? Because blowout mostly depends on downhole pressures and other parameters, which were not under our control directly. But how a effective kill procedure is developed? That is one question. And now CSB, based on the recent many recommendations, reactivity of the chemicals in safety reviews, they are making it a mandatory. So how we are going to address that? Because most of the incidents, especially with ammonium nitrates, over a period of aging issues and the reactivity related incidents happening. So now it is being a mandatory recommendation. How we are going to address in the HSE reviews?
Right. So the first question, I'm sorry, I'm not the expert on drilling side. So any expert in this forum, they can address that point. Okay. The second point is definitely, it is not that a pre-startup safety review checklist we have developed that is only to be followed for every facility, every every place. So we need to develop to the operations, to the facilities, what we are going to operate. So now the incidences from the lessons learned all highlighting, we need to focus more on this chemical safety management. So that means we need to further brainstorm and develop the checklist, which will make the PSSR teams or the phaser teams to check right from the design of storing the chemicals to processing the handling the chemicals to processing the chemicals we can take. So that is my answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. One follow-up question actually, that went missing in line, that's very interesting, because while you went missing in a line, it was pointed out during a phaser. That is really surprising to me generally, because in project management practices, there is a system walkthroughs will be conducted once construction is over, before pre-commissioning anything. How it missed? I mean, it's a deliberate miss that the team felt not required, or it is a miss from the design completely and avoided?
It is the misinterpretation. That is, they started, convincing that there is another vent or another way to vent it. So, but the safety, at certain distance only you can vent it, right? So you cannot, accidentally also you cannot allow the venting. So it is missed.
It is I mean, it is an unapproved MOC. We can consider this way. Okay, yes, thank you.
Yes, Srikanji, you can ask question.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ramana. Thank you, Dr. Prasad ji. It's wonderful insights about the various lessons learned that you have shown to all of us. And I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Kuwait chapter for bringing 2 doctorates on the single platform. So congratulations to all of us for listening to 2 doctorates in the same webinar. So with this experience, you have it's a vast experience that you worked in various industries. And also we're glad that we're working together. So we'd like to see what is the single most contributing factor for all these incidents, especially from process safety side. If you see our management system, we do have a good elements in PSM, and also we do have 13 elements in HSEMS also. So if you see all those in a quick view of those, and the thing which you have shown, the incidents happened especially during the COVID time, the factors are different. Okay. It's silly to ask why only one single contributing factor, but with your experience, in which element the organizations are more lacking in that? Thank you.
It is the the organization's mindset towards the process safety. That is the more compliance part. That is what compromising is. It became a habit of the some of the organizations. So the more we comply, that means the more we are doing it. It is a mindset, we can say.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely correct, Dr. Prasad, because he was the pioneer in RFSU, Ready for Startup. I was one of the auditee in his team, and he was auditing questions with us. It reminded me the importance of Ready for Startup. As you just now asked about how the incidents are happening, because many plans during COVID situation are shut down. So suddenly they started without any safety precautions, especially Ready for Startup, pre-startup for a safety review checklist. Without nothing, they started. That is one of the reasons the incidents went very high. That is what I feel, according to the safety analysis.
Absolutely, Raja. So you raised a very good point. That means once the plant went for some period of a shutdown, definitely depends upon the criticality and the risk. The PSSR needs to be carried out. So that is the call to be taken by the organization. So for the benefit of the organization and the safety compliance. So that part, they are missing it. Definitely, it is the one factor leading for the disasters.
Correct, because that way we did in 2010, 11, those days, RFSU really, there was a good sign of, growth, and there is no accident at all. That helped a lot for the industry to sustain a good safety records.
Without
Thank
incident, you. We could achieve the the commissioning and then the final oil in.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you both the speakers for the wonderful presentations, and there is definitely a lot of takeaway in both the presentations. And before going further, I would like to request Mr. Dinesh Kumar Pal, who is the president of our ASSP Kuwait chapter, ASSP Kuwait Toastmasters Club, to take over to introduce about Toastmasters. He will take only 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to post a link which is contained the online quiz. I request everyone to participate in the quiz to receive the participation certificate. Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar Pal, please go ahead.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Ramna. I hope am I audible?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Thank you. I will quickly finish as per your timing. Who may not know me, I am Dinesh Kumar Pal, member of the SSP Kuwait chapter since 2006 and president of ASSP Kuwait Toastmasters Club for current season. Let me first acknowledge the presence of the SSP Kuwait chapter president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, senior advisory committee member, Mr. Ashok Garlapati, Mr. Bala Srikant, and many more. I cannot see all on the screen. Very good evening to all of you and as fellow SSPN members. What is the Toastmasters? Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization and that teaches the public speaking and leadership skill through a worldwide network of the clubs. Headquartered in Inglewood, Colorado, United States, and the organization's membership exceed 300,000 in more than 15,800 clubs in 149 countries. So why to join the Toastmasters? You want to make progress in your career, but are not able to do so due to poor communication skill. Second, you know your things, but are not able to articulate them confidentially. Third, you avoid the presenting in front of the team, customer, or your management. You lack the skill, impress your audience. Can you afford to continue like this? Absolutely no. So what are you waiting? Join the Toastmasters to keep away your glossophobia. Toastmasters International since 1924 has helped the people from diverse backgrounds become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. On behalf of the club executive committee and being current term club president, a few important messages I would like to share with you all. First one of the ASSP member named Mr. Najaz T. Abdul Karim has been appointed as a vice president of the membership. This is the organization which directly offering you the position of the president. No any organization, no any company will offer you. And even if you are going to for a safety engineer, they will ask what is your engineering degree, where is your experience for some certain years. But Toastmasters offer you, if you have the skill to lead the club, be directly offering the position of the president, vice president, education, vice president, BPR. Currently, I am badly looking for a BPPR member, vice president of public relations, who people have the skill in SSP chapter member can contact to Toastmasters Najaz. Toastmasters Najaz, you can share the number in the chat box for our audience. So you can fill the nomination. Only the criteria you have to be the paid member and we have to pay the amount 15 KD for 6 months. First time we will take the 5 KD registration, so 20 dinar will be fee. And the next also current term is ending 30th June. We run the club for yearly 1st July to 30th June. So it is my responsibility to select the leader for next year because we work for 1 year. Second year we have to give the chance to others being a leader. So we have the election before the June. I think I will do in the May. So if any member are interested, any club SSP member are interested, let contact to the Toastmasters Najaz and come forward. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmasters. Mr. Ramna.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar Pal.
Thank you to you, sir, giving this opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Now moving forward, I request new members to introduce yourself. Like we have few members, not members, you can say participants. Mr. Anirudh Kumar, could you please introduce yourself? Mr. Anirudh Kumar.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Anirudh.
I am Anirudh Kumar. I am working here in UAE, Dubai as a safety officer in food manufacturing company.
Very good. How do you come to know about this technical meet? May I know?
Sir, I received one email through the Facebook message.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining, and I request you to join in our next upcoming technical meets also. Okay, we'll be having this technical meet every month, 3rd Wednesday.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Anirudh. Mr. Denson V. Mr. Denson V, could you please introduce yourself? Okay, Mr. Firoz Ahmad. Mr. Firoz. Mr. Junaid Danse. Whoever is new to this forum, you can open your mic and introduce yourself. Yeah, please.
Hello.
Mr. Shoaib Ahmad. Yeah.
Junaid Danse here. Yes, I'm Junaid Danse. I'm just every time I'm joining ISP these classes, and I want to introduce myself. I'm working as a safety supervisor in Kuwait. Right now, I'm working in KOC projects, and before I was working in LNG also. So every time I attending these classes, and I'm in future also, if I get an opportunity, I will join more classes.
There are two devices, I think. Please mute one. Someone is having that. Okay, anyway, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anyone to introduce?
Hi, good evening. My name is Shoaib. I'm working in Kuwait for a subcontracting company as a health and safety manager. I've just joined ASSP recently, a couple of days back, and I got this link for this technical meet, and I happened to join in for today's session. It was a very good session, something good to know about. Hopefully, I'll be joining more and get the best out of the knowledge from these sessions. And if possible, we'll try to share my experiences in the later future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shoaib. And I request, like Mr. Shoaib is telling, he can share his like presentation or experience, whatever he can do in the later stage. I request someone to come forward to present for the next technical meet. Is there anyone who can come forward and give your name for the next technical meet? It can be a case study or something like which you have experienced in your project, which is related to process safety management. As our visual ethics are told, there is no need to show like any presentation or something. You can just talk something about the incident. That's enough. Case studies, so many case studies available in our CSP website is there, and if you Google it, you will get number of incidents. You can take one of the incidents and you can present it. By doing this, you can improve yourself, how you can get the data from the available sources and how you can present in the real time. Now this is a good opportunity presenting online. With this experience, if you go to a stage, definitely this will help. You will be having good experience by doing this. Okay, that's why I request you people to come forward and give your name. If you are not giving your name, you can think over and send a message to our chat box. We have already posted our number here. Okay, just save this number and you can share your details later. Thank you. And is there anyone having any doubts or questions? Our esteemed speakers are here.
Yes, yes. I would like to add a few more things, unknown facts. Both the subjects are very interesting and very useful. We got a lot of information as a takeaway. But something I would like to add here. First of all, the water bottles. In India, few of the schools, they are very well aware about it. They banned using plastic bottles. So they recommended all the schools, children especially, to use the stainless steel or all the brass bottles, which are little costly. And many students are adhering it, especially the kids, they are adhering to that. The parents are adhering. That is one improvement last couple of years I have seen in southern India. Secondly, about the bisphenol, when he mentioned about bisphenol, I checked and referred the ACGH limits. Usually they used to publish the biological exposure indices, especially when the urine sample or blood samples are taken after exposed with some chemicals. The person used to go for a test. He mentioned during the presentation that in USA, 93% people are tested with bisphenol, observation, exposure. So that is really scary, and the fact if it's so, definitely the bodies, news, ACGH, they don't leave it. They will go for serious studies. Last couple of years, the ASCGH TLV booklet and biological exposure indices booklet, both of them never disclosed any value for this BE, biological exposure indices, for urine and blood. So still they are under study. However, there is a time weighted average limit that they have published for the bisphenol A chemical compound. That is very low value, 0.2 parts per million, and it affects the pulmonary function. That's what it says about the TLV. So still it is under study. So until now, no scientific values are published by American Congress of Governmental Industrial Hygienist Board. However, EPSA, European Food Safety Authority, they have declared the 4 microgram kg, limit as kg per kg weight as a limit. That is what mentioned in the presentation. World Health Organization also I do not know, but basically it's a very, very good topic, and I really enjoyed. It's good takeaway, especially the water, temperature, optimal temperature, 70 degrees centigrade and getting leached. It's very nice information. Thank you very much for organizing such a wonderful session. And Dr. Siva Prasad also very nicely pointed about RFSU, FACER, and so many things. It's very, very important, especially a process industry or oil and gas or any industry before they do start off. And excellent session by Dr. Siva Prasad too. Thank you very much for ASSP to conduct such a wonderful sessions.
Thank you, Aristoteles ji. Actually, you have given in-depth knowledge, which our speaker missed. But 93% maybe he got some sources which he will be sharing later. But the 4 micrograms he has shown in one of the slides.
Yes, that I have. European Food Safety Authority, they have declared that as a limit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is he didn't miss that one. That is very important. No, that's why he has put in a slide.
Correct.
4 micrograms per kg. He has mentioned that one. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. And I request you to take one session to expand this kind of knowledge for our.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I am currently on duty. So once I come to India, I will hopefully by next session, before mid of June, definitely I can take up. So before I come to duty, I can take up on related to drilling or process industry case study. I am ready to take up. I will intimate you through email.
Thank you.
Only my duty schedule has to be adjusted accordingly. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone to talk? Okay. Anyway, we will complete the felicitation session. After that, we'll continue for 5. Oh, it's already 8:45. Okay. Okay. As a token of appreciation, we are felicitating our speakers in every technical meet. So for this technical meet, both the doctorates who have given wonderful presentations, I cordially felicitate our well-known presenter, Dr. Siva Prasad Penki, with a small token of appreciation in this manner. Please go to next slide. Thank you, sir. And the next one, the certificate will be provided to you through an email for you. Thank you very much, Dr. Prasad. Moving forward, I request Dr. Hari Prasad. Actually, he presented from India, so it is too late here. He has to join for duty tomorrow. That's why he apologized to continue at this time. So, as a token of appreciation, we are felicitating Dr. Shiv Prasad. Sorry, Dr. Hari Prasad. I'll convey this one to him. Video. Thank you, Dr. Hari Prasad, once again. And that's it. With this, we'll conclude the session. If anyone is having any queries or doubts, you can send always. You are always welcome to send your queries to our chapter. So WhatsApp number is there, and you can email us if you have any technical query, so that we'll forward that one to our speakers and get reply. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining, and we'll meet in our next technical meet, which will be on June 5th. It will be a physical technical meet, and it's a commemoration of World Environment Day. So there will be a good technical session will be there, along with our two important programs, events of ASSP-KC chapter, which is already explained by our president as well as secretary. A professional development conference and ASSP HSC Excellence Award. These both are major events for ASSP-KC chapter, and those events are launching on the day of June 5th. Okay, I request everyone's presence on this physical event to support our chapter. Thank you very much. Okay, if anyone would like to talk, we will continue for 2 more minutes.
Ramana, thank you very much. Ashok sir is there. Let's listen from our founder member and advisory committee member. Ashok sir.
Coming.
Ashok sir, is there any issue with your mic? No, we can't hear you, sir. There is some issue, I think, Jayaji. He was talking, but we couldn't be able to hear him.
No problem. Meanwhile,
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, Ashok sir.
Sorry, because I was having a parallel PC, so that's why. Thank you, Jahidji, and of course, thank you for the PSM committee for organizing continuously these events. And today we had something unique topic, I can say, from the day the PSM Summit seminar started on the environment-related topic, which was very useful for the day-to-day life, and it has opened many people's eyes also. So certainly such information will be very useful. And second speaker, Dr. Penki, he has covered very nicely about the process safety issues and how we can overcome through the studies. So it's always refreshing to listen to Dr. Penki. It's very nice of him. And most important thing is that we are keeping our tradition of learning alive. That's also it's a good practice during COVID-19, and we are continuing with that practice. So that's very nice of everybody. Thank you, Jahid Bhai, and thank you, Ramana. Thank you, Ritvik sir, for leading us by being in the front. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And on behalf of Kuwait chapter, I would like to thank both speaker, Dr. Pinky sir and Dr. Hari Prasad. And thank you to Dinesh Kumar Pal for briefing about Toastmaster Club and all the members who had involved and interact with the speakers with very good question and answer. Definitely, there are many takeaways, and congratulations to Mr. Najas for joining in Toastmasters role, and many members who had joined from outside Kuwait, like India and abroad. Thank you all for being with us. And Ramana, if you are ready with the quiz winner. Ramana?
Yeah, okay, Jayaji. Actually,
Yes.
I did that one because timing is not there. No, that's why. Anyway,
No problem. No problem.
I already put 3 names. Just let me add 2 more.
Okay. And World Environment Day event, Ashok Shah and Mr. Raja. Actually, we are looking for speaker also. So if you could help bring some environmental specialist and let members get benefit. This will be a physical event in the first week of June.
Certainly, yes. Why not? Just send me the details by WhatsApp or this thing, timings and other things. We can check up.
Yes, sir. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Quiz winners.
Yes, you can announce, Ramana.
Go
ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you, Jayaji. So far, we have received only 3 winners in first attempt. Okay, there are some guys who have attempted twice or thrice, but I didn't calculate that one. So 3 winners attempted in first time. I'm going to announce. Mr. Vishnu S. Gunithan. Thank you. You have attempted this one in less than 1 minute. Okay, you are the first one who have answered. You are the first one who have answered and submitted these answers, and 6 out of 6 you have got this one. Okay, thank you very much. If you are there, just open your mic and introduce. So Nathan.
Excuse me, sir. Hello, sir.
Mr. Nathan is here.
No, sir. I am Satyendra Verma, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I joined this. Just my first session is there. That is best one. But I didn't get any link for this quiz.
Link is there in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to post that one. It will be open for only 2-3 minutes. Okay. Anyway, just
chat box.
Follow with the chat box. You can check in the chat box. Okay. After announcement.
In Zoom chat box.
Yeah, Zoom chat box only. After this announcement.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Syed Arif, for answering all the questions. Thank you, Mr. Sohail Khan, for participating and answering all the questions. You 3 people as a winners for today's quiz. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now the time for networking. If you have any questions or queries or suggestions, you can open your mic and pass on your comments. Okay, the link I'm posting in chat box once again. Whoever not participated in the quiz, you can.
I just posted it.
Pardon? I have posted.
I just posted. Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, it will be open for another 2 minutes only. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, shall we close, Jahaji?
Yes, Ramana. Thank you very much. Thank you all, and have a safe day. Good night.
Good night. All. We'll meet in the next meet on June. Thank you. The meeting will be, the link will be open for another 2 minutes. Okay, though we are closing the meeting, you can continue participating in the quiz.